How's it going? My name's Bradley with Allaqcess Sports, bringing you a brand new episode of our sleepers, studs, and stacks. But this week's going to be a little bit different. We're kind of on a time crunch, got a lot of things going on. So we're going to do a condensed version. It's going to be our 5-star players of the week. By the way, if you used our information from last week, you can be like David, who killed it for $659 this week. I'm going to need my man to share the wealth a little bit because, like I said, I went with Mike Evans and that you should invest in Chris Godwin, and he listened. Again, normally on this channel, we go through guys under $5,500 in the sleeper position that we absolutely love to pay off 3x, 4x their value. The studs, those high-priced guys. But again, just generically speaking, we're going to give you 5 guys that I think are in premium spots to pay off this week. It's a little condensed, but maybe that's what we need. Just kind of change up the juju a little bit. Starting things off is Brian Robinson Jr., and now this is if he's 100% a full go, and it's kind of trending that way. He was a limited practice participant on Wednesday, but it looks like he's trending in the right direction. He's a guy who's getting a good amount of volume when he is healthy. We've seen double-digit carries week 1, 2, 3, 4, 23 points, 10 points, 17 points, 17 points. Again, he's getting matched up against a 30th-ranked Carolina Panthers defense that has no bodies up front. Derek Brown's not there. Shaq Thompson's not there. Jadeveon Clowney's been dealing with an injury. This is a team that can be beat in the run, and when you have Jayden Daniels taking the lid off and making those safeties play a little bit deeper with Terry McLaurin, that leaves a lot of room underneath for Brian Robinson Jr. And at $6,400, I think he's going to smash through the 20-point mark. And then at the top, it's hard to ignore what Kyren Williams has been able to do. I know they're getting Cooper Kupp back, so maybe that makes that Las Vegas Raiders defense respect the passing game a little bit more if he does play. But weekly, 14, 15, 31, 20, 19, he's been getting a massive amount of volume every single week, getting involved a little bit in the passing game. And now you get a Raiders defense that's 24th in the league at 140 yards per game. 28th overall in opponents ranked to fantasy points allowed to the running back position. If you're paying up for a running back this week, I think Kyren Williams is your guy. If you want to save a little money, go after Brian Robinson Jr. Wide receivers, I think a lot of people are disrespecting Amon-Ra St. Brown near the top. 8,300 is a lot to bite off for him, but he had 3 straight weeks of 20-plus point fantasy production. You now get a Minnesota Vikings defense that's really good at generating pressure. I think Laporta might have to stand in there, right? Protect Goff from Van Ginkel, Grenard, and other blitzers that are going to be coming off the edge. 30th in passing yards allowed per game. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown should be in for a good game, as well as Jahmyr Gibbs, kind of playing in the flat and getting in space to slow down that pass rush. 30th in the league, dead last in fantasy points allowed to wide receivers. Give me Amon-Ra St. Brown for a big week. No surprise here, you know that I am a Tank Dell fan. I think he is one of the best playmakers in the league when the ball is actually in his hands. If there's a fact that Jair Alexander is going to be matched up against Stephon Diggs and kind of shadow him throughout this game, Tank Dell should have a little bit of room to run. Even though the Packers gave up 3 touchdowns week 1 to Saquon Barkley and they ran all over him, they're still 8th in the league in rushing yards because so many teams have exposed them in the passing game. 228 passing yards allowed per game. We know the Packers are capable of scoring. That means Houston's going to have to stay on the gas and keep scoring. I look for Tank Dell to be able to find some room to operate again. If Jair Alexander is going to be shadowing Stephon Diggs, I like taking Tank Dell on the other side. $6,500, I think he has huge upside. Juju Smith-Schuster is a guy that's in a good spot. We've talked about him. We've heard about him at $4,000, getting 8 targets last week. Yeah, I think Kansas City has a chance to kind of expose what is a little bit of a weaker San Francisco defense compared to years past. The only problem I have is the amount that he's been on the field. This is Xavier Worthy on the field, 67% last time they played. Justin Watson was in there at 70%, and Juju Smith-Schuster again in there at 67%. Now, he was clearly the target favorite when he was on the field. Maybe it kind of shifts back the way of Xavier Worthy, Justin Watson, if you're playing him. So I like him. But I feel like with the amount of people that will be playing him and possibly sharing some of this volume, it could be a little bit of a dangerous play. I do still like him at $4,000. So maybe I wasn't super convincing with Juju Smith-Schuster, so we'll step up a little bit to $5,600 and go with Darnell Mooney as another guy that I really like. You get a Seahawks defense that hasn't been superb over the last 3 games after starting 3-0. No Reek Woolen. No Rayshon Jenkins, who was just added to the IR. Giving up 195 passing yards per game is a little bit misleading when you look at those injuries. I think Darnell Mooney's going to have a little bit of room to operate, and at $5,600, I do like the volume that he gets most weeks. 7, 8, 6, a massive 16-target game against Tampa Bay, and then 5 last week against Carolina, where they didn't have to do much in the passing game to get it done. This is a Seahawks team that has given up 15 plays of 20-plus yards, and most of their 17 sacks has come in the realm of coverage sacks. Missing a couple of pieces back there, some really key pieces back there for them. I think Darnell Mooney and Kirk Cousins can have a real connection in this game. If we quickly look at a team, Jared Goff got him with Amon-Ra, my man Amon-Ra. I want to get Jahmyr Gibbs in here as a pass-catching back, but I don't know if I want too much of the Detroit Lions. You get Jordan Addison in a run back when a lot of people are probably going to be on Justin Jefferson. Get Jonathan Taylor in there, Brian Robinson Jr., Darnell Mooney we talked about, Jonnu Smith kind of as a tight end that's just really cheap and of value. Juju Smith-Schuster at $4,000 if you like him. And then the Giants, who even in a couple of blowouts this year and in a couple of losses, they've still put up some decent points because of their sacking ability and really ability to get some turnovers. If you don't trust me and you want a little bit more in-depth analytics, click down in the description below and find your free trial with Rotowire. No credit card required, no payment required, just your name, your email, and kind of the state that you live in. And that's basically all the information you need to get full access to their website. Have your NFL lineup optimizer so you can kind of lock in some players that you really love and see where they're thinking about. The stats, you can look at team trends, defenses versus specific position, snap counts. If you want to see who's been on the field, who hasn't been on the field, they have this for NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, every sport that you might play. I think this is one of the most incredible tools that's out there. Best of luck to you this week. I hope this short video still gets the job done for you. And hopefully the next time that I see you is down in the description and in the green this weekend. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.